Welcome to Unwind Podcast. We're your hosts, Maritza
and Melinda.
Hi guys, we're in person. We've never been so excited to see each other.
Seriously, I think.
So happy.
Yes.
So happy. It's
been
nice
too
long
to see your face, actually.
I know.
Because we haven't even done anything behind the scenes.
No.
She's been busy.
Yes, like literally. I mean, I've been back-to-back coaching. So if you guys follow my Instagram, you would see games. So this is good. I'm excited.
Yeah, seriously. So I'm excited for this week's topic. Are you?
Yes, I am. I'm very excited.
Yeah. So I did tell her what my idea was.
Yeah.
And
this is I think this topic, right, is one of my favorites, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we get into it, go. I'll let you kick it off. Go.
You can tell the title, and then I'll read
Words have power. Ooh.
Yes. I love it. Words do have power. And when I mean that in the biblical aspect, and I mean that in the literal aspect. I think that, if you're religious or if you're not, either way, like it's relevant.
Yeah.
It's true that our words have power.
Yeah, they do.
So I'm going to start off with the Bible verse, and then I'm going to give two different versions of the Bible.
Yep.
So I'm going to start with the Message.
Yeah.
Proverbs, what was it? Proverbs 18:21. Words kill. Words give life. They're either poison or fruit. You choose.
I love it. Can't wait to start talking. Go ahead. Go to the next one.
So I just want to read that again.
Oh, go. Repeat. Rewind.
Words kill. Words give life. They're either poison or fruit. You choose. So very powerful. I think that is.
Well, I love how it says, right, gives life.
Yeah.
Or it's poison. I mean, that right there in itself.
Yeah.
So strong.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I wanted to do the Message version because I felt like it was going to be like a little stronger. But here is the NIV version. Yeah. So the tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruits.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you guys have heard this one plenty of time. This version, this is, I think, the most popular version.
Yeah. I feel like the Message version is more for the generation now.
Correct.
Right?
That's why I wanted to do
exactly.
both.
Yeah. Because it's kind of like basically saying to you, like, what you say, right, can affect somebody either in a positive way or a negative way. And I think people don't realize because everyone's quick to speak, slow to listen. Oh, that was another. Oh, we're on today.
Yes, we're on fire. Yes, absolutely. I think that yes to people, but I also want to apply this to ourselves, right?
Yes.
The things that we tell each other when we look at ourselves in the mirror. Oh, I'm too fat, or oh, I'm too this. No, just like love your body, love on I think that when you learn to like look at yourself and love what you see, everything else falls into place.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you'll feel confident. You'll feel loved.
You'll value yourself.
You'll value yourself more. And people are going to see that.
Yep.
I think that people will see that and people will be able to say, wow, for example, you've seen people like you're just like, oh, like
they're shining. There's a light.
That girl has a light, or that guy looks happy, and it's the lifestyle that you choose for yourself, the words that you choose to,
because you believe what you say, right? So if you say something to yourself so many times, then you start believing it, right? So if you're telling yourself stuff negatively, then automatically your brain is going to connect to that word. Yeah. And that emotion is what's going to come out of you. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And it's also like when you speak negative on a day-to-day. Oh, yeah. Like when you're always like, oh, I'm never going to be able to do that. Oh, I'm never going to be able to do that. Don't do that. Yeah. Like, you get to it when you get to it. Oh, I can do that. Yeah. Let me give it a shot. If you're not successful, then give it another shot another day. Like, you have to be able to be like, I can do this. I can do this. And like, my daughter, we did like an indoor rock climbing thing.
Okay.
And she was like, I can't do it. And I was like, well, I'm not going to let you go to the next one until you do it. And she kept falling down. And I was just like, analyze what you can touch and what you can grab and keep doing it. And then she made it to the top. And I was like, you see, you can?
Yeah, visualizing.
So it's like
believing.
Exactly. So it's like continue to do something until you get it right. And if it takes too much of your time today, then try again tomorrow.
Never say you can't. Absolutely. I feel like once you put that word in your vocabulary, then you close so many doors.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And you stop like believing in yourself, right?
Yeah.
My brother, right? He took the bar 3 times.
Yeah.
And it was funny because he called me and he's like, should I, like, what do you think? Like, do I do one more time? I was like, absolutely. Because to me, my personality is like, I'm going to keep going until I get it, right? And my brother's like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do too. And then he passed. So then he like not only passed in 1 state, then he passed in like 4 states.
Yeah.
So I was like, that to me is like perseverance, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to put the word can't in because then you're, like I said, right, closing doors.
Absolutely.
And then you're believing that you can't do something, right? And that's perfect what you did with your daughter because, like, that's key for this generation. Like, don't tell them you can't, right? I think I shared with you, taking this position, right? The one comment one of the guys said to me was like, oh, coach, you have such high expectations for us. And it baffled my mind because I was like, wait, what? Mm-hmm. Like, why wouldn't I have high expectations for you guys? That's my job. Like, if I didn't, what kind of coach would I be?
Yeah.
Like, of course I'm going to tell you, yeah, we could beat the number 1 in the count in the States. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand that thought of we can't.
Yeah.
Like, to me, I'm always telling them, like, guys, I don't care who's on the other side. You play your game. We're going to give them a fight.
Give it your all.
Give it your all. Leave it. Like,
your all.
You know, that's the thing that I'm like, I don't understand why or what shifted, right? Where all of a sudden people are okay with settling. Yeah. Or people are okay with believing negative words spoken over them.
Yeah.
Right? I actually said that to my team in a talk where I shared my testimony. Mm-hmm. Right? And I said to them, if I would have accepted a doctor telling me I wasn't going to walk, I wouldn't be standing in front of you guys today.
Yeah.
I was like, do not accept negative things over you.
Yeah, and I think that also, like, when you hear stories like that, people don't believe it for themselves. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. They don't believe that it can happen to them. Yeah. They don't believe that it is possible for them, you know? And I think that that's, you know, basically what's key. Like, you have to believe in yourself.
Yeah. You
have to believe that you can do it, you know? And also that you're capable.
Yeah.
Like, listen, people do it. There's people that come out of, and I know that some people are just like, oh, those are the exceptions. No, like, you can be the exception.
Yeah.
And you don't have to glorify somebody else's journey or think that, you know, it has to look like theirs. It can look your way. You know what I'm saying? Just accept yourself, love on yourself, and give yourself those affirmations, like those words of encouragement to yourself, because at the end of the day there's always going to be the naysayers.
Oh gosh,
there's always going to be people that say, oh, you know, that's whack, or that I don't think you can do that,
exactly.
Or you I don't think that that's a good idea. There's always going to be some of that, you know. Mm-hmm. And you have to rebuke that.
Yes.
And
repeat it again. What do you have to do?
Rebuke that.
Yes.
I have had people say something over me, and I've in my mind, like, I don't tell them.
Yeah, you say
but I'm like, I rebuke that.
Yeah, and I always say in Spanish, I'm like, Señor, reprenda.
Señor, reprenda.
Yeah, because it's one of those things that you have to. And that's,
you have to.
Just for those that don't understand, when you say something like that, when we're saying rebuke it, it's just you're basically saying, I don't accept that.
Yeah.
I don't accept those words spoken over me. I'm going to stop it. Like, I refuse to accept those things over me. And I rebuke it, which means I'm saying, I'm not accepting it, right? In Jesus' name, I'm not accepting those negative words spoken over me, right? And you're kind of counteracting the war, per se, right? You're saying, like, all right, you want to speak negatively, I'm going to stop it, and I'm going to speak life into me.
Yeah, and that's basically, you know, what we want for yourself, right? And now, I have it. And now, for, you know, family members and loved ones and friends and everything, it's, when you the power of the life and death is in the tongue. And another way that can be applied with family and friends, you know, when you're angry and you're in the heat of the moment and you say things,
you react emotionally.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, this episode's coming out tomorrow, but yesterday I went to this journaling it was with Michelle Anna. It was like a seminar, like a
women's group.
Yeah, it was like so she basically was showing us how to like journal and things like that, how she got closer to like with God, and how to like soul. So her big thing is soul, like soul care.
Soul, internal.
Like internal.
I heard soul, like cosal, you know, sewing. That's why I had to look at her twice, people, if you're watching me. I was like, so?
No, like soul care. She's big on your internal
yes,
care.
Yes.
And so when I was in our group, in our breakout groups, you know, I was talking to some of the girls, and then one of them, you know, it's like, it's good when you write things out when you're upset with someone and you write it down on your journal, and then you go back to that conversation. It's not as heated. Yeah. You're okay with not saying everything that you wrote down because in the heat of the moment, you know, you let a lot of things go and you deal with them internally, because when we react, there can be a long-term effect of you know, who we hurt, you know, our loved ones. And I think that it's very common, right? My pastor says this all the time. Yeah. Why is it the loved ones that always hurt us the most, right? Yeah. It's because they know us the deepest, they know us the most, and you know,
and they think you're gonna forgive and move on the quickest.
Yeah, like, or whatever it is, right? Because they know what buttons they can press, right? Yeah. And so when you write it down and get your emotions out and work on yourself, like your soul and your inner core. Yep. Trust me, like, you'll find peace in a lot of situations, and you won't lash out or you won't hurt the loved ones, right? And you'll be able to. You'll be able to, like, with your loved ones, you'll be able to, like, accept them, that they're not in the same journey as you, and like, you can keep your distance. You can make those boundaries. We've talked about that all the time.
Well, I want to go to your journaling, right? So journaling for me, I've done that ever since I was a kid. Yeah. Right? Because it was hard for me, and sometimes it's hard for me to express verbally, but I can write. Yeah. Right? So for me to gather my thoughts, I will write out what I want to say first. Yeah. And then have a conversation about it, right? So I still,
some of those writings.
Yeah. I still keep on, like, to that. That's like my style, right? Yeah. But it also helps too, because of that. Like, I'm able to tell people, like, look, I don't know how to word it yet. Just give me a few. Yeah. Right? But it is healthy. Yeah. Because if you do react, like you're saying, in an emotional state, then you're gonna hurt. Yeah. Because you're hurting. Yeah. Right? But if you write it out, even if you write out hurt words, right? You're letting it out of your system. Yeah. Right? And that's the key of what you're trying to say, is you're letting it out, and then you're going to read it and be like, wow, I'm glad I didn't say this. Yeah. Because I would have hurt this person in a way I didn't intend to.
And you reframe it, right? You wisdom. Also because also because when you lash out, the other person's going to lash out too, versus you coming to someone and saying, listen,
healthy conversation.
Yeah, when they see that you're on the defense, they're going to be on the defense. You have to diffuse the situation first.
What's the saying, right? They say always be the bigger person, right? Instead of saying bigger, I would say, right, be the one with the wisdom.
Yeah, I don't think being the bigger person is necessarily, like,
it's not cockiness, it's just being wise, right? Because having wisdom is, yes, I'm upset, right? But verbally being able to express in a positive way, like, absolutely, hey, what you did ABC affected me in this way.
Absolutely. And that's like being the bigger person. Like, listen, sometimes I just don't want to be the bigger person. Yes. So
just saying.
Yes, 100%. But you know, I think that you can also not necessarily be the bigger person, but you can also communicate what your emotions are better. Yeah. It's so, like you said, wiser.
Yeah. Like, you know what's the typical thing? People, I hate you, right? Yeah. That's horrible to say. I've always told my kids all the time, Never say I hate you.
Yeah, my mom always told me never say hate.
Yeah, like I hate that word. Okay, see, the irony behind it. No, but like it's one of those things you don't say that because it's like almost. I tell the kids all the time, like, hey, that's saying like you wish the worst upon somebody, and you never want to wish the worst, right? You can say I dislike you in this moment, right? But hopefully we can fix it.
I can't stand you in this moment.
Yeah, right. Just I'm upset with you in this moment, or I need space. Right now, I'm not in a mindset to communicate with you because I know I'm gonna lash out. Like, there's ways to be mad, but not cutthroat mad.
When I first started dating my husband, so story time. He's someone that is passionate, right?
He is
very passionate, and I'm very calm and mellow. And if I'm upset, I recluse, like I'm just like into myself. I need to be alone. Mm-hmm. I need to be in my thoughts, and he could not stand that, and so
because Johannes is the same way.
that was fresh, right, in the beginning of our relationship, right? So he did not. That could not, like, that would just make his blood boil
because
more.
He takes it, and I'm gonna defend you here. I'm gonna defend you here, Juan. He takes it as you don't care what he feels, but you're trying to process.
Yeah,
right.
And
it's called years of wisdom now.
Yeah, exactly, right. But we've learned to communicate effectively, and he's learned to like exit the situation and kind of like let me be and let him be, because he knows that. Because then I became like when
explosive.
I would get because then it was like. That's not gonna work. Yeah. 2 explosive people are not gonna work.
No, because you're trying to feel like I'm trying to say my point. You're trying to say your point, but you're both mad, so no points are being or points are being made. Let me reframe that. Points are being made, but not being heard.
Yes,
that's the problem, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the situation when nothing's being heard. How are you gonna fix the situation?
Yeah,
and all you're gonna grab onto is I can't believe so and so said this.
Yeah, and also. In the heat of the moment, sometimes then you hear things that weren't really said.
Yeah.
Have you noticed this?
I don't know if I've noticed this. Well, I forget.
No, not necessarily, but I've seen it with other situations. I'm like, that person did not say that. I think that's what you heard because like out of the heat of the moment, right? Yep. That person did not say that. That person said this. Yep. And then it's like, no, they said, and I was like,
it's interpretation, right?
Yeah.
And that's another thing I've learned, right? Sometimes a person can say something, right? But their words for them might mean one thing, but you, the receiving end, will translate it as something else.
It's also demeanor, right? This is why it's good to journal the things out, because your demeanor, your that's why I said, going back, it's like, because words can hurt long term. They can make a long-term effect. They have the power. You know how they say, when you're growing your plants, you gotta talk to them. You gotta because
I'm not a green thumb person, so
I'm not a green thumb person either. But my mom did.
My mom did.
Yes, and I've seen a lot of people that just go talk to their plants and they don't die. They like grow so beautifully. Yeah. And it's because of that.
And
it's
my
like
plants, if I had, they would die.
Because
I have no time.
I'm not a green thumb person, but overall, I think that it's just. Our words have power and our demeanor has power, and I think that we have to just be selective in when and how we have our conversations with a loved one, how we speak to them.
Talk to them the way you want to be talked to.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's huge, right? Because I don't think anybody wants to be yelled at or disrespected. So if you don't want that done to you, why would you do it to somebody else?
And also, I think that that's also a reflection. If you're used to that or you grew up in that environment, and let me know how that's working for you. If you continue it. If you want to do the real work, you have to work within yourself, guys.
It's important, like you're saying, right?
Absolutely.
Because I think it does them. The change, here's the big thing, right? Don't expect people to change.
Yeah.
They can change, but you're not the one that's going to change them.
Yeah.
Right? The only thing you can control is yourself.
Exactly.
Right? How you communicate, how you stop a situation, how you stop people speaking negative to you, right? Because you can literally tell somebody, like, you know what? This conversation's done. I'm not accepting what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't think we're in a good place to communicate. And you could walk away.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's okay, right? Yeah. So I always tell my kids, right? It takes two to fight. If one keeps arguing, they're talking to themselves.
Absolutely. So, guys, just to recap, you know, I think that overall, I think that we just want to encourage everybody to choose your words wisely.
Yep. Choose the words that are going to have life and not poison.
Yes.
Let's do that. Let's work on those things, those techniques, right? For the ones that you love, right? Treat them the way you want to be treated.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's key. Everybody, you should treat the way you want to be treated.
Yeah.
And just, you know, speak life. No more death.
Yeah.
Right?
Speak life onto your life,
yourself,
your loved one's life. And, you know, choose your words wisely, guys.
Yeah, guys. So thank you for tuning in. We're so excited. We're here in person. Yes. Oh, I'm so excited.
Yes, guys. Thank you.
Right. Enjoy your week, guys.
Enjoy your week. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll catch you in the next one, guys.
Bye.
Bye.